Now, I could tell you a little bit more about these teams, but as it turns out, we're actually getting ready to go into a draft right now. So let's head on over while we sort out the English language in the middle of me speaking. All right, then. So, Towers of Doom. I've got some data up here just about what some of the common picks are for these teams. The interface from Heroes Profile, a little bit confusing because it does tell you 3 of the most played heroes, but if there are other picks that are tied with those, it doesn't quite show all of that. We will see the Ana banned out by Cael'Thas Can't Spell, and that is, as it turns out, one of the most commonly played heroes by Bunker Funtime. It also synergizes with the Li Ming, which is another one of the most commonly played heroes by Bunker Funtime. But the Urel ban will come out by Bunker Funtime. I don't know. There have been a lot of names that I've enjoyed saying. That one, something about that's not quite rolling off the tongue. Not to, be any biased here. The Deckard will also be banned. So a healer choke by Cael'Thas Can't Spell against Bunker Funtime to start us off. What will the next ban out of Bunker Funtime be? 3 of the most commonly played heroes for Cael'Thas Can't Spell are the Johanna, the Anduin, and the Raynor, so I do wonder if one of these starting bans will be used on one of those heroes. Fig Double is the healer player on Bunker Funtime, so he is saying that he is feeling targeted, and it will, okay, but on the opposite side, does look like Bunker Funtime are targeting Crushinator, who is the solo lane player on Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Now we see Dorsch has locked in the Johanna. I do approve of that. Fig Double will pick up the Anduin, which is his most commonly played healer at the moment. And interesting to see the Johanna actually picked up by Dorsch. I'm a little disappointed because today, once I had communicated to Crushinator that I would be casting his match tonight, he promised me some sick Murden plays, and I'm afraid we won't get to see that in our very first game. Which, you know what? Well, it's better for Bunker Funtime. Or rather, no, it's better for Cael'Thas Can't Spell. They're way better off having a Johanna than a Murden. Meanwhile, I do like the DPS pickups on the side of Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Picking up the Greymane and the Li Ming, very, very good for team fighting. I think it's good on this map in particular. Li Ming often finds herself in positions where a lot of team fighting occurs in areas where her shots will not be blocked around those altars. A long time ago, this was called a double reset comp because of the fact that both Greymane and Li Ming were looking for resets on their heroic abilities. These days, the Greymane doesn't necessarily look for that because it's more common to go for Cursed Bullet than it is for Go for the Throat. But in general, this is a composition that, at least as far as team fighting goes, it has both good sustained damage and then even better burst damage. So it's definitely a good composition for confirming kills. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Bunker Funtime, we're going to see Zednam pick up the Mal'Ganis, and then Ragnaros picked up by a name that's a little bit difficult to say. Let's give it a try. Illuminibri. Illuminibri. We're going to try that. So far, I'm liking the way the draft looks for Bunker Funtime. Sorry, just kidding. I actually meant to say Cael'Thas Can't Spell. I like the way the draft is looking for Cael'Thas Can't Spell, more so than the draft out of Bunker Funtime. I like the tank pickup. I like the DPS pickup. Whatever this last DPS pickup... Oh my god! It's going to be a Cael'Thas. I did not see that one coming. The Cael'Thas pickup... overall, I definitely still favor the draft out of Cael'Thas Can't Spell, but I will say, especially considering that this is now a Cael'Thas last pick, although I prefer the draft out of Cael'Thas Can't Spell, I don't rule out the possibility that it's very much in the realm of possibility that Bunker Funtime can take this game away if they do have a really strong performance by their Cael'Thas player. Cael'Thas, obviously a highly polarizing pick, very feast or famine. I mean, it's actually one of the few examples of a hero who actually can truly solo carry if you have the skill to do so, but at the same time can flop pretty badly if you are not able to play it effectively or if the other team is able to deny the Cael'Thas pick. or deny the value out of it. Not, not deny the pick itself, because obviously the pick was not denied, but just in the game itself, how they are able to deny it. All right, then. So we'll be getting into our game momentarily. All right, we've got game number 1 between Cael'Thas Can't Spell and Bunker Funtime. On the left side of the map, we are going to see the blue team. It's going to be Cael'Thas Can't Spell. They've got Stoic on the Li Ming. Crushinator will be playing as the Malthael. Dorsch will be playing as Johanna, a very good not Muradin tank. Asmochad on the Greymane, and Toons will be playing as the Stukov. Meanwhile, on the right side, it's Bunker Funtime. Bone Z will be playing as the Sylvanas. Zednam on the Melganis. Fig Double on the Anduin. Flying Spuds will be playing as the Cael'Thas. And finally, it's Aluminibri. That's what I'm going to go with, Aluminibri. That's the easiest for me on the Ragaros. Yes, that was not a mistake. Ragaros. All right, then. So there are a lot of things I actually did want to talk about before the game actually started, but we actually got into things so quickly that I didn't really get to mention it. But, I do know these teams a little bit. More so Cael'Thas Can't Spell, since it is one of the sister teams of Can't Counterpick Stupid. So I have had the opportunity to play with some of the members of both of these teams, both in Storm League as well as some pickup games. And while I'm trying to talk about the history, we've got our first kill already picked up on Dorsch, on Johanna. A lot of nice stacking going in for Flying Spuds as well. Already at 6 stacks, so this is 20%. 20% of his stacks already. That's a pretty good pace within less than a minute of gameplay. Oh my god! Those are some powerful shots, though, going in on Flying Spuds. So I do know a little bit about these teams. I've played with some of their members briefly, both, again, in Storm League as well as the pickup games hosted by CCS Discord. And I've also seen a little bit of Cael'Thas Can't Spell, since I did cast their most recent match where they actually won. It was their first win in NGS. And right now the records for these teams, Cael'Thas Can't Spell is sitting at a 1-2 record. So they have 1 win and 2 losses. Oh man, you know what? There's so much going on here. I don't even know how much I can go on over the history. Bunker Funtime at a 2-2 record. So on paper, looks even-ish between the two teams with similar records. Not too big of a difference. But I think I would give a slight edge to Bunker Funtime, given that their 2 wins are against Full Meta Jacket and Dirk These Throws, which are the 2 teams that Cael'Thas Can't Spell lost to. So, now, obviously, the transitive property isn't foolproof, but, just based on the limited information that I have, I am currently favoring Bunker Funtime until Cael'Thas Can't Spell proves me wrong. Now, I think this setup right now with our solo lane players double soaking the top and bottom, I think that really favors the members of Bunker Funtime, because the constant brawling in the bottom lane, they basically turn the bottom lane into an ARAM, or I guess more of an actually, you know what? I'm not going to say what I just thought of. Where they just ARAM in the bottom lane. It just favors Bunker Funtime because it allows Flying Spuds to get even more of his stacks. We are at 3 minutes into the game. He's about halfway through, which is a decent pace, not the best ever. There was a time long ago back in HGC when Sam set a record of completing all of his stacks in 4 minutes. But let's actually take a look at this team fight right here. Actually, however, let's take a look at this. Crushinator starting to be zoned out of the top altar. And I actually kind of like this play. Although Cael'Thas Can't Spell got the bottom altar because it was a 4v3, but zoning out with 2 in the top does actually mean that Bunker Funtime picks up both of the top altars. I don't think that's fairly common. Yes, Mrs. Windup Bird, Arab was it. I'm glad you're able to figure it out. All random, all Bunker. And then another thing, out of these 2 teams, the one that I know better is definitely Cael'Thas Can't Spell, because they are one of the CCS teams. As far as what little I know about Bunker Funtime, I I think they are friends with CCS, so that's, again, why I know a little bit about them. But they also, despite being called Bunker Funtime, when they play Blaze, I'm pretty sure they don't even get Bunker. I'm pretty sure they go Combustion, which is questionable in itself. But especially when your team is named Bunker Funtime, it's particularly questionable. So things not looking too bad for Cael'Thas Can't Spell at the moment, but we do have actually about a full level lead for Bunker Funtime. Bunker Funtime will also be picking up their Sapper Camp very, very slowly, I might add. Sylvanas, despite her old reputation of being a solo camp taker before her rework, actually is not really great at soloing camps these days. All right, Dorsch does get hit by chains, but he does activate the Unstoppable from that Iron Skin. Doesn't actually get the chains to connect anyway. So this team fight will just be continuing to be going. Dorsch now does get chained, and both Toons and Dorsch, they do not have... I mean, they don't have Iron Skin. Dorsch, of course, well, Dorsch used it. Toons just never gets Iron Skin because he's Stukov. Stukov is also a cleanseless healer, and I think that's also one of the situations that also makes the Cael'Thas pick a little bit strong. The Stukov was picked up early-ish. The Cael'Thas was saved for last, so that just makes it a little bit harder to actually protect against a Cael'Thas. Meanwhile, Crushinator needs to be really careful here. He could be killed. And once again, we are going to have the members of Bunker Funtime zoning out. Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Okay, now it's just going to be a full-on team fight, but Crushinator is already really low. He's pretty lucky that the chains just missed. Okay, but it doesn't matter. He won't get lucky enough. So we are down to a 4v5, but Cael'Thas Can't Spell is able to actually pick up that altar, kind of due to the fact that although it was a 4v5, the members of Bunker Funtime, a few of them were pretty low on health, so it was a little bit suspect, especially against a DPS duo of Greymane and Li Ming. A very lethal DPS duo, in my opinion. Again, as I said kind of early on, I think it's very good at securing kills. You really can't mess around with having even one of your members so low on hit points, especially because we do actually have Stoic going into a Calamity build. Thank God. Oh, but that's going to be an easy chain, and Stoic will not have a chance to survive. Killed before even the Shadow Fisher comes out. As we do see Flying Spuds is now fully stacked. Now, typically, I think one of the vulnerabilities of a Cael'Thas is dive. Now, members of Cael'Thas Can't Spell do potentially have some dive in the form of the Greymane. Oh my! I'm not even paying attention, but we missed a kill on Crushinator. So we're going to see, and we do see that that is, Asmochad is right now holding his ult choice. So he's debating whether or not to go for the Throat or Cursed Bullet, and I think it is a very, very smart idea for him to actually go for the Throat in this game. That does give him more of a chance to dive and confirm kills against the Cael'Thas, or in this case, against the Mal'Ganis. Yeah, I actually really like the go for the Throat in this setup, and as I had recently cast the Epic Cup playoffs just yesterday, there were a lot of times when I saw players making good use of Go for the Throat. Go for the Throat is almost like the forgotten art of Greymane, forgetting that Go for the Throat actually is not just a viable heroic, but that it can actually be quite good under the right circumstances. And I do think that these are the correct circumstances for Go for the Throat, where the primary target really should be someone like Cael'Thas. Okay. We do potentially have Go for the Throat, I think, is on cooldown, however, so I don't think we're going to see the kill on Flying Spuds or any of the backliners just yet. Dorsch wisely moving out of range of his teammates to prevent a combo from happening, but now he's potentially in trouble. Oh, but a Sulfurous Smash will confirm the kill onto Dorsch. So very happy to see that as well. Speaking of lost and forgotten arts, oh no, it didn't result in being the kill. That was so close. Sulfurous Smash out of Raggaros, and again, that was not a mistake. That was fully intentional. I'm calling it Raggaros. Don't tell me otherwise. The Sulfurous Smash on Raggaros, yet another forgotten art something that is not as commonly picked. It was pretty much a 100% pickup back in the HGC days, but let's take a look and see what they can get out of this Wailing Arrow. Stoic is really low. He's zoned out by a Shadow Fisher, but he teleports over the wall with that Calamity Li Ming. So Furious Smash, back in the HGC days when Ragnaros was actually played, it was always 100% Sulfurous Smash pickup because of just how value it can be in a team fight, having that kind of burst damage coming out of your solo laner of all players. So Dorsch is able to initiate and secure a kill on Fig Double. Zednam is now in quite a bit of trouble. I think they can secure the kill here. They are just barely not going to secure the kill, and instead a kill is traded out in return. Not quite respecting that Cael'Thas, going in so deep for that kill. Crushinator's still in trouble, especially if he can get comboed from Tunes. Asmochad's trying to go in, though. He already used Go for the Throat, and now he is going to be taken down. And I also wanted to check and see, yes, we do see that Cael'Thas has picked the Armor of the Archlich. Activate 50 armor for 4 seconds, so that is part of just kind of dealing with a Greymane. Dorsch is actually in a bit of trouble. Okay, it's going to be a single Ultra Phase. Level lead for Bunker Funtime, but talent tiers are even. Can Cael'Thas Can't Spell interrupt it? I'm not sure it's even worth it. Yeah, I mean, Dorsch was already at about half of his health, still waiting for some of it to regenerate. Both Crushinator and Asmochad were not there. So right now, Cael'Thas Can't Spell, definitely in kind of on the back foot. And although the tower shots are not too far apart, 28 to 20 really isn't bad. Obviously, it's a lead for Bunker Funtime, but it's really not bad. What is much worse for Cael'Thas Can't Spell right now is the experience difference. 12 to 2 in kills also results in a 16 to 14 level difference. Currently, there is a talent tier advantage as well. So the dive out of Cael'Thas Can't Spell isn't quite strong enough to really put a huge amount of pressure on Flying Spuds. So I think it's going to partly depend on maybe Stoic trying to look for off angles where he can put more pressure on the Cael'Thas, or really anyone on the backline. In this case, it's going to be Sylvanas, but we do have Will of the Forsaken to give her unstoppable. It looks like it will be Mal'Ganis in the end who does go down. That is a nice kill to get, but we need to make sure. Good. Combo is messed up by Flying Spuds. In that case, it actually wasn't so much Dorsch. Dodging it, more as I think the combo was just kind of missed. Yeah, so right now we're seeing some combos just kind of missed, which is obviously very important for the well-being of Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Going to be very important that Cael'Thas Can't Spell quickly secures level 16. Minimally, they want to... Oh, right. This is actually a triple Ultra Phase, not a double Ultra Phase in the top. So right now, they're actually more committing to the middle. This is... Oh, this is a 4v3, but Dorsch is so low. Asmochad will secure the kill, though, onto Anduin. So it is also very interesting to see that, let's actually talk about this. Can this be a kill on Flying Spuds? And indeed it will be. Good engage by Dorsch. For a second there, Zednam really just needs to get out, because for a second there I thought he was going to go in with that. And although the Carrion Swarm does allow you to pass through other heroes, he needed to be really careful there about potentially getting stuck. Because as much health as he had, if he got body blocked by Johanna, it could have been a kill on him as well. Okay, strong position now for Cael'Thas Can't Spell. They've really evened up things a lot. It's now 17 to 18, so they're still at a level disadvantage. Oh, here's some blind as a bat. Zednam first using it to get in, now using it to get out. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Malthael dying in the top is certainly a problem. Actually, even with Malthael dead, I feel like they... Oh, no, Dorsch is so low. Does he even have Iron Skin? Okay, Dorsch deciding that he is just going to... He is going to have to Hearth. I think this is a bit of a problem now. Yeah, there are a lot of problematic things here for Cael'Thas Can't Spell. I think it really started with the fact that Crushinator did die up here. Aside from the fact that means it's a lot of time that he's dead, even if Crushinator gets back alive, Malthael's damage against buildings is so bad that he really can't take back this tower on his own. It would take ages. That's why Asmochad has rotated up there, because as Greymane, he's better at that. But that meant he needed to pull out of the bottom. That meant that there was only 3 from Cael'Thas Can't Spell, and eventually the tower that they had taken was retaken by Bunker Funtime. Okay, I believe that is Blessed Shield already out. Unfortunately, the Blessed Shield did not achieve a whole lot, so this is not a strong position. In fact, they really need to just give this up. Yeah, I think they need to give this up now. Give this up now and just focus on soaking, because they're very quickly going to be at level 20 disadvantage. And we see here, Crushinator, if anything, I don't even like the fact that Asmochad rotated out of here and put Crushinator back here. I think it should have been Asmochad staying here until this top bell tower was taken back. Oh no, Dorsh! Does he get out of there? Does he have Iron Skin? He does get a heal from Stukov, but he will be executed by the Sulfurous Smash. And it's also really interesting to see those Sulfurous Smashes used pretty much raw, no combo setup for the Sulfurous Smash, which does kind of create the liability that you could just straight up miss it. Normally you want to combo it into that, but so far I'm pretty sure he's 2 for 2. At least the Sulfurous Smashes that I've caught on screen, he hasn't missed. Not only have they not been missed, but they secured a kill each time. Now, initially I did say that I like the draft better out of Cael'Thas Can't Spell. And in many ways, I still do. I think it's a more stable draft. I think it is honestly the better team fighting draft as long as they execute things correctly. But if there is an advantage... Oh, but let's see. Does Asmochad get out of here? I'm not sure if he does. I don't think he does. No. If there is an advantage for the draft of Bunker Funtime... Oh, what a nice Holy Word Salvation. The advantage out of Bunker Funtime's draft is that between the Sylvanas and to some extent, I guess, the Ragnaros too, they are very, very good at establishing a macro advantage once they actually do secure a number of kills. The Sylvanas in particular just makes it much, much easier to take these bell towers away really quickly. We already see they have 4 bell towers. They're going to get a double cap at the moment. So now, you know, earlier on I did say 28 to... Oh! Wow, earlier on I said 28 to 24, or sorry, 28 to 20, not so bad. 20 to 1 though, that's a problem. Cael'Thas Can't Spell really can't afford to make any further mistakes. Like any further mistakes and they lose the game. Where's... Oh, right. Greymane's not up yet. If anything, they're kind of lucky here that... Well, I don't know. We have both Ragnaros as well as Sylvanas trying to establish a map control advantage. Lag will be happening. Dorsh is way ahead of his team while the rest of his team is in the back trying to deal with Zednam. Zednam gets the level 20 carry and Swarm Sleep into a Wailing Arrow. I think that just might be the end of Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Crushinator moving forward. Can Dorsh get out of here? He actually has Iron Skin. Just kidding. I meant Indestructible. But on the backline, we saw yet another use of Sulfurous Smash. And with that, that should be the game in favor of Bunker Funtime. I was going to say, are they just going to get the boss? But even easier to just secure the top bell tower. And the barrage will finish off the core for Cael'Thas Can't Spell with their very first shot. That'll be it. The barrage is going to be coming in right here. And right down there. So, first game does go over to Bunker Funtime. So, obviously I used the transitive property to help me decide which one of these teams I felt was stronger. And so far, Bunker Funtime has kind of lived up to the expectations. They've kind of proven it as far as the game goes. Pretty significant kill advantage. 5 to 18. The 18 being in favor of Bunker Funtime. We're going to get started on our next draft for Game 2. All right, so Bunker Funtime will be leading 1-0 in this series. The Ana ban will be banned out, so right now that targeting on Fig double, with that being one of his most commonly played healers. It's his actually second most commonly played healer after the Anduin. Before today, he had 3 picks on them each, but then we saw the Anduin pick up last game, and it's going to continue to be the solo lane focus on the bans for the members of Bunker Funtime, and this time they're actually going to ban out the Cael'Thas. And I think that, yeah, I'd say that probably had to be the case. I mean, I guess if you are up against the Cael'Thas, because Cael'Thas is very much like a pocket pick. It's not something you're going to run every time. It's something that you pull out when your opponent is not expecting it. If it is pulled out, and it ends up working, then it's usually something that gets respect banned out the next game. And it's strange, because I feel like they probably have it in them to deal with the Cael'Thas if they have a better draft, but their draft for dealing with the Cael'Thas wasn't great. Their only real dive against it was the Greymane. The rest of their heroes not exactly great at dive, but again, of course, Bunker Funtime took advantage of the fact that they already saw most of Cael'Thas Can't Spell's draft and were able to pick it in the last slot, knowing that it wasn't really heavily countered. I wouldn't say there were no counters against it, because again, the Greymane does have the ability to go in, especially with Go for the Throat, but obviously it didn't work well enough. Sylvanas will be picked up yet again by Bonesy, and Melganis picked up yet again for Zednam. So much of the draft is the same. Although, of course, it can't be 100% the same with the Cael'Thas taken off the board. Rhaegar for Toons. Now, Rhaegar these days, ever since the buffs to Bloodlust, Rhaegar has been more common, and what's been even more common than Rhaegar himself is Bloodlust pickups. And with a Bloodlust pickup, good. I'm liking actually seeing the Raynor. Getting a Rhaegar now also, especially getting it this early, does telegraph that you're probably looking for a Bloodlust comp, which means you also need to start building your composition around that idea, which is why the Raynor does make so much sense here. Meanwhile, Sonya will be banned out. Wow, they really just want to make life hard for Crushinator. Crushinator is their primary solo lane player for Cael'Thas Can't Spell, but sometimes Asmochad plays it as well. In their last series that I had cast, that actually was the role that Asmochad played. So Asmochad really seeming to be kind of like their flex player. He does have a background of actually coming from Please Clap, even though I don't think he was really a starter on that team. But I think he's one of the more experienced players on what is otherwise, I would say, a team of rookies, and that's not meant to be pejorative. It's just that I'm pretty sure this is their first time playing in NGS or even playing competitive. I could be wrong, of course. You know, I haven't done a full background check. I don't know their phone numbers, their addresses, or anything like that. And look at this, Mephisto. Now there's a potential carry pick. And it is interesting to actually see the Mephisto. I don't actually feel that really synergizes with the Rhaegar Bloodlust potential. And I mean, of course, normally you do want a mix of spell damage and attack damage, and they already have the attack damage with the Raynor. But sometimes if you are building towards a Bloodlust comp, you might try to pick up something like also like a Hanzo, who is actually kind of a mix of the two. He's more of a hybrid, really, rather than hardly classifying him as a 80 attack damage carry or a mage. Meanwhile, the Ragnaros is going to be picked up again by Aluminibri. And this is on Infernal Shrines. So last time, of course, although the game went in favor of Bunker Funtime, I like the draft better out of... That was last time. I like the draft better out of Cael'Thas Can't Spell. And I hate to say it, but this time, I like the draft out of Bunker Funtime way better. I think they really got the better end of the draft. So we'll see if it does end up kind of making or breaking it in the draft. So we have the Ragnaros, which was already proven effective in the first game. And now we have a far better map for the Ragnaros. The Molten Core can be used for the defense. It can be used to try to help secure the shrine. And then, although Lava Wave would make more sense here than on Cursed Hollow, I want to see the Sulfurish Smash again. Because aside from the fact that I personally think it's just the better heroic, I think they also have a good setup for it. But we are about to get into our game here. So, all right, so game number 2, it is going to be Bunker Fun Time leading 1-0. We are going to have, first of all, let me actually check something. Okay, just checking something. We're going to have Cael'Thas Can't Spell here, looking to even up this series. Stoic will now be on the Rainer. Asmochad on the Mephisto. Toons will be playing as Rhaegar. Dorsch on Johanna again, and Crushinator will be playing as Blaze. Meanwhile, Bunker Funtime splitting up, interestingly. Zednam on Mal'Ganis. Fig Double on Deckard. Aluminibri on the Raggaros yet again. Flying Spuds on the Orphea, and Bone Z will be on the Sylvanas. And look at this silly stuff. Coming up here, sniping the well in bottom. So cheeky, so cheesy. They do end up losing Mal'Ganis for it, but in the end, I actually do think that's a winning trade for Bunker Funtime. You know, that one kill this early in the game can pretty easily be evened out during the course of the game, but the very first time a shrine is down here in this bottom lane, it will be a massive advantage for Bunker Funtime, having the ability to tap their well, but taken away from Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Man, I was not planning on making that one rhyme. So Bonesy looking pretty low. So as I said, I like the draft better out of Bunker Funtime. First of all, I think the Sylvanas makes even more sense here, even better. Will we see a kill this early on in this starting? I'll just say it this time, in this starting ARAB. No, just kidding. Doesn't look like they're going to all random, all bottom. It does actually look like it will be a 4-man rotation between bottom and middle, while we do have our solo laners just focusing on the top. So I like the Sylvanas. The synergy it has with the Punisher is honestly really, really good, especially with how much threat the Punisher can put not just on structures, but on heroes. It can make it very, very hard to defend when the Punisher, you can't necessarily rely on your structures to actually do damage as the Punishers approach. The Raggaros, I've already listed some of the applications of that, and I also like the potential combo setups, whether it's we can have sleeps set up by the Deckard as well as the Mal'Ganis. That can be followed up by roots from the Deckard, and then that makes it really, really easy for potential Sulfuras smashes out of Aluminibri. And again, you know, we've had some disagreements with myself and some people in the chat about which is the better heroic. I really, really want to just see a Sulfuras smash in this game. Just combo with their existing setups and just delete some heroes. So it's going to be some relatively even siege camp pressure in this middle lane. We're going to see Dorsch maybe looking to put a few condemns on it. So far, just one, actually. Can't really spam condemns. Although he does have Eternal Retaliation, so he will be actually to use it on a relatively short cooldown. Although I do miss the days when Eternal Retaliation had no maximum number of targets, also had a higher cooldown reduction, and it was actually possible to just get full resets on condemn. Long time ago. 2016 at the earliest, maybe all the way back to 2015. So actually 2015 would be the earliest. Okay, nice timing to get a siege camp right here, or is it? So they will get this siege camp, but they will be giving up positioning on the shrine. So they're getting both camps, but again, giving up positioning on the shrine. And, you know, actually, I'm not sure I like this. They will move back to pick up their bruiser camp, but they could have also gained an advantage on the shrine. Of course, they do have to worry about all the lane pressure that they are going to have, which is why it does look like we are going to see Crushinator move out to work on some of the lane clear. Unfortunately, he is only at level 6. Blaze's clear is quite a bit weaker before level 7, so he's just going to have to clear that out manually, doing as much damage as he can. And it will be... It's actually a 4v4 at the moment, but Raggaros has the easier rotation when he is able to join them. Level 7 Palantir is in for the members of Cael'Thas Can't Spell, though. And Crushinator actually makes it back first. So if they aggressively take a fight now and look for some targets, they can create an advantage here. The skeletal defenders are pretty even. Flying Spuds is really low. They need to focus on him. And Asmochad, I don't think Asmochad was even responsible for the kill, but he was in such good position that he actually could do it. Aluminibri is chasing after Stoic. Can he finish him off? He does! Oh my god, I was not expecting that. But Asmochad, meanwhile, finds some other kills. He's able to get Mal'Ganis. Dorsch is really low, though. Does he have Iron Skin? Otherwise, if he doesn't, he will go down as well. So it is a 2 for 2 at the moment. All right, then. I think, actually, Cael'Thas can't spell. They need some people to come out here quickly because the respawn's coming out a little faster from Bunker Funtime. They need to get out here and try to finish the skeletal defenders. Unfortunately, oh, it's so close, actually. Who will get it first? And it will be Bunker Funtime getting it first. Oh, no. I mean, they went back to look for taps, making sure they had enough health, but I think they gave up the shrine a little unnecessarily. Let's see if they can get a few kills, though. Asmochad will go down, and Zednum does get a few heals from Fig Double, so there will be no kills coming in. Dorsh, oh no, why is he over there? He is not in a position to try to lure the Punisher over the wall. This is not looking good. Meanwhile, Stoic is in a position where he might get slept by Mal'Ganis. No, he will be saved by Dorsh. Oh no, but Dorsh will not be saved himself, and Stoic may die anyway. Oh no, that was a very unfortunate turn of events for Cael'Thas can't spell. I think they, I mean, I gotta say, I think they kind of blew it on that shrine. They had the lead by 10 skeletal defenders, but then they backed off, and ultimately that resulted in the shrine taken by Bunker Funtime. And then the sad truth that is, there was a lot more value gotten out of that first Punisher than there should have been. Unfortunately, Dorsh was not able to get behind the wall in time to bait the Punisher over the wall. And then, you know, of course, we just had Sylvanas throwing the black arrows on the fort. So that is a first Punisher taking out a whole fort. Now, luckily, Cael'Thas can't spell is stabilizing. They're obviously behind in structures. They're still behind in macro at the moment, but let's see, are they going to attempt some kind of invade here? It is 4v4, but Unstoppable is already used. Oh no, someone's going down real quickly. Oh no, Stoic does have, you know, just the adrenaline rush from Raynor. There is a stay a while and listen, but there's no follow-up to it. Unfortunately, Dorsh is here on an island. He does have Unstoppable, but he will still not get out. So things are looking pretty rough for Cael'Thas can't spell. It seemed like a stabilization to me. Oh man, where is Zednum going? I was wondering if Zednum was, you know, with that rotation that he had around whatever this is, that path blocker. I was just wondering if he was looking to dive onto the back. A lot harder these days. Oh, but that will be a crushing Jaws that does help secure a kill on Stoic. Man, you know, things didn't look too bad about a minute or two ago. But right now, Bunker Funtime is actually doing a great job of really just snowballing things in their favor. And that's part of what the Sylvanas is for. Right, so Bonesy will hearth off the field. Crushinator has to hearth as well. I'm guessing didn't have a tap to just continue staying in that lane. Meanwhile, it is going to be Bunker Funtime continuing to just create a macro advantage. They will pick up both of the camps on their side of the map, which does also lead them to the possibility of a potential invade on the side of the map of Cael'Thas can't spell. They're also going to have 13 talent tier very soon. I think it's actually would be very wise. Oh, man, but Orphea Flying Spuds does back off. I was going to say, I think it would be very, very wise if they all converged on the Bruiser camp for Cael'Thas can't spell. I mean, not entirely necessary, and I think they have a macro advantage no matter what, or just either way. But I do think it's a missed opportunity for Bunker Funtime, who has otherwise done a very good job to continue to create advantages and snowball things in their favor. In this case, I think they are, yeah, they definitely gave up a potential opportunity. Nevertheless, they've still got 13 talent tier advantage in their favor. They've got positional advantage on the shrine, so I mean, I guess I can't criticize them too much in this case because they're still doing very, very well. They're very much in a strong position, and it is very much Cael'Thas can't spell who are on the back foot. And they're just going to have to, I don't know, try to find something that they can do to change things. But we do have some anchoring in the bush by Zednum, slowing down Cael'Thas can't spell from the ability to even get on the shrine. Crushinator has to jet propulsion in, but that does mean jet propulsion now is down for about another 10 seconds. A big condemn from Dorsh. There was an interrupt, but a big wailing arrow as well, and finally it will be Dorsh as well as Mephisto going down. That is Asmochad, and thank God. I didn't even see it. I wasn't calling out the heroics, but once again, we do see the sulfurous smash out of Aluminibri and getting value. I mean, I'm pretty sure every single Sulfuras Smash that Aluminibri has done has actually gotten value. And this time it was actually comboed with some of the crowd control effects from the rest of his team. All right, they've got a full health Punisher, but they're not quite there to push alongside it. Instead, Bonesy is doing some damage to Crushinator. Dorsch has not managed to bait it over the wall yet. Okay, finally it will be baited over the wall. Toon's taking a lot of damage from it, though. Oh, no! Asmochad commits the Durance of Hate, but it doesn't connect. Big miss for him. 50-second cooldown. Not a huge cooldown, but it's nevertheless a big miss. So that does significantly reduce their turnaround potential. Oh, we're going to see the Crushing Jaws land onto Dorsch. He does get really low, but he is able to make it out of there. Bonesy actually has a lot of threat put on him, and he's still taking a lot of damage. Meanwhile, Zednum is actually not able to get out of there. Can they get any more? Crushinator just barely is not able to get a jet propulsion onto Flying Spuds. But Flying Spuds, I wouldn't say he's out of the woods yet. Dorsch does get a condemn onto Flying Spuds. It's not a huge engage. Dorsch is starting to get really low. So is Toons. They did not have everyone continue that chase, so Flying Spuds will get out of there. I would say that's the first really questionable Sulfuras Smash that we do see out of Aluminibri. I mean, yes, it connected, but Asmochad also had so much high health. He actually just had a lot of health. There wasn't much, just the rest of his team to help follow up there. So the first really questionable Sulfuras Smash. The rest of them in this series have actually been quite good. Dorsch is pretty low, though. I think he's positioning very aggressively for a Johanna who does not have much health. He does use... Oh, no. He does have Iron Skin, but he was just at so low health that the Iron Skin was eventually burned down, and he was just straight up killed. Meanwhile, we see another Durance thrown out by Mephisto. And unfortunately, that one basically just used defensively. Actually did hit like 3 or 4 targets, but it wasn't... there wasn't a whole lot that was achieved by it. Again, just used defensively. Another Wailing Arrow goes in. They do a potential kill, but a nice cleanse by Toons to prevent the kill onto Stoic. Asmochad does get an Ancestral. Crushinator is in here with the combustion, but unfortunately he might die going for that combustion. Not much of his team there to help with that. Blessed Shield does go out. This could be a potential opportunity to get a kill on Zednum. He did get interrupted by the Condemn. So they do manage to trade out the kills. While all this is happening, though, Aluminibri is going around the map, creating lots of macro advantages, picking up more camps, painting the map red. Looks like he's even going for, is this like a solo invade? That would be extremely bold and probably not a good idea. So I'm glad that he was a little bit more cautious about that. I guess it was more just scouting. All right, Stoic will come here to help clear this out before they do have to initiate onto the objective. At this point, Bunker Funtime really has played like the better team for really this entire series, but we are still in a position where Cael'Thas Can't Spell has it in there, at least in terms of what we see on the screen right now. They still have the capacity to turn it around. It's 16 to 18, so it's even talent here. They are going to be at a statistical disadvantage. I'm actually... Oh! The siege camp in the bottom. They're a little bit slow to clear that. And now we have engaging 4v5. This is looking kind of rough. I don't know. It doesn't feel like they're all on the same page, and Crushinator's already really low. Crushinator has to jet propulsion in just to get away from the Sulfuras Smash. Now, ultimately, that is a lot of ult cooldowns traded out, but in the end, it's definitely a winning trade in favor of Bunker Funtime. They keep the positional advantage on the Shrine. They're most likely going to get it, unless we can make something big happen out of that Durance of Hate. It will be the first kill onto Ragaros. Zednum gets killed too, but it's going to be traded out for Stoic. Flying Spuds making some plays on the back line. But I think this does have the potential to go in favor of Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Unless, oh no, Crushinator does go down. It was 4v3, but the kills are now happening in favor of Bunker Funtime. Flying Spuds is making huge plays. And Asmochad will go down as well. Oh man, that is really, really rough. And with that, unfortunately, Cael'Thas Can't Spell does ultimately also give up their bottom keep. And this is a disaster for Cael'Thas Can't Spell. They now will have to fight against level 20. They will have a Punisher that will be moving down the middle lane. The worst case scenario would it be going down bot lane, but still, they've got to defend against a Punisher. They've got to keep, but no front wall, and it will be against level 20. Now, what we see here is Bunker Funtime, very smart by Bunker Funtime, kept the skeletal defenders at 39 and then waited until the rest of their teammates respawned so that they could push as 5 alongside the Punisher, which I think is very, very important. And of course, they could afford to wait long enough. Oh, that's a stun already onto Dorsch. Okay, Mal'Ganis is already eating some stuns, but we also have the Sylvanas trait value. The black arrows just making short work in combination with the Punisher of the keep. And now we have an 80% Punisher going in on the core. Dorsch is really low. He does already use Iron Skin, and he will be killed. He's the first one to go down. Crushinator is in there with the combustion, but he's eating so much damage just trying to charge it up. And I think that will be game 2 going in favor of Bunker Funtime, barring any kind of miraculous play out of Cael'Thas Can't Spell, but I don't think it's in the cards. In the end, it will indeed be the victory out of Bunker Funtime, a 2-0 victory, or a domination as it is called in NGS. All right, then. So, obviously, we do have our second game is done. 15-8, so still a pretty significant kill advantage in favor of Bunker Funtime. Today, they definitely look like the stronger team, so they will their record will increase to 3-2. 3 wins, 2 losses. Cael'Thas Can't Spell. Their record now going to be 1-3. 1 win, 3 losses. So they definitely still got a lot of work cut out for them if they're still going to try to make a run for the playoffs. But certainly a good game for both teams, but obviously more so for Bunker Funtime, managing to take the victory. I got to say my MVPs there. Game 1, definitely Aluminibri, and then Game 2, more so Flying Spuds. The great sulfurous smashes coming out of Aluminibri in Game 1, and then Orphea just making all those solo plays. Flying Spuds finding so many kills with the now apparently busted Orphea, as has been discussed in our chat. But I'm going to see if maybe we can get Zednam or anyone here from Bunker Funtime over here for an interview. We'll be coming fairly soon.
All right. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? How you feeling after that win?
I'm feeling amazing.
Good to hear it. Good to hear it. Now, of course, at least this is the first time I'm interviewing you and use up some questions that I can't ask for a second time. Your guy's name is Bunker Funtime, but I didn't see the Blaze. What happened?
Well, let's see. They banned Blaze the first game.
All right, then took it the second.
Picked him the second game. So. Yeah.
But then even when you take it, don't you usually not even go Bunker? What's up with that?
I don't go Bunker.
Oh, you don't go Bunker.
That doesn't mean we don't go Bunker.
Ah, I see.
Yes.
I see then. Although I'm probably asking about, some other members of your team, but can you tell us a little bit about the Ragnaros pick? It's something that I don't feel is too common, especially on Towers of Doom. What can you tell us about the Ragnaros pick? And by Ragnaros, I mean Ragnaros, of course.
Well, you got to respect the Fire Lord.
Of course. Behold.
That. I don't know. It just felt right with the comp we had. We're like, oh, this sounds like a great pick.
Okay. And I certainly, I think Aluminibri, if that's how you say his name, was the MVP for Game 1, so I do think he got a lot of value out of it.
Yeah, you can call him Bree, it's fine.
And
you got a lot of value out of it. Yeah, you did.
And specifically, how did you feel about, getting to play one of the CCS teams? I kind of take it, since I remember seeing you in some of those CCS free agent nights, that you're kind of like friends with the teams and stuff. How did it feel getting to go up against one of the CCS teams?
It just felt like another scrim with them. It was actually pretty fun, I think. Valk helped me put this team together. Actually, he sent some names my way when I put the team together.
Yeah,
When I put BFT together.
I remember that all kind of happening during those free agent nights. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah,
actually, how come you guys aren't like one of the CCS teams then?
because I'm supposed to be a sister team to Clouded Minds.
Ah, I see. That I
Yeah,
was not aware of.
because I was once the Clouded Minds tank.
Okay. Okay. So that actually kind of leads into some of my next questions. I did want to ask about like, kind of what your previous experiences were competing in either NGS or Heroes Lounge. Whether originally I think I was going to ask it about your team, but it looks like you have some even beyond just this team. What is the experience for both this team as well as yourself?
Well, let's start with the team I put together. Bones, he was in a Camino Saber Darts. He played with them for 2 seasons. I don't know if you remember them. And then obviously I was Cloud of Minds, but the team mostly comprises of people that haven't really played NGS before. They're all brand new to the team, to NGS.
And sorry,
For
one
me,
more
Cloud
time.
of Mind,
Who was
what's
the
up?
one person who you said was someone who had played seasons before?
Bones,
Bones. Okay. Very good.
he was the healer for them.
Okay. All right. We even have a quick question in the chat, although it kind of comes from one of your. No, actually, the question is from Valkymer. He wants to know, what is the best laundry detergent for bunker fun time?
Well, OxyClean gets all the stains out, and in the bunker it gets pretty messy.
I like that. In the bunker. In the bunker. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a tough one. I'm glad you took that one because if that question was put to me, I was like, I don't even know if I know brands of detergent off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, I have kids, so I kind of know.
I mean, I have
Yeah.
detergent. I do laundry. Although I don't have kids. But
Yeah.
moving forward, you've obviously already played. I believe this is your fifth series. Out of whatever remaining opponents, is there anyone in particular who you're looking forward to playing against?
Uh, the Probius team, the one that's under the Probius umbrella.
The Probius, right? It's
Yeah.
Probius, Drift, Cannon Rush,
Yeah.
Cael'Thas can't spell. They already played against that team too. I cast that match.
Yeah.
Definitely showed off a lot of good things there, even though Cael'Thas can't spell was able to take the series.
Well, that's good to hear. I didn't see that. That's awesome.
Wow, we're actually getting a lot of chat questions today.
Oh yeah.
You know what? I'm going to try to honor as
My,
many of them as I can.
my team likes to flame me in the chat when I'm interviewing.
Valkymer has already gotten a question. I might come back to his, but so we're going to get Fathoms Deep, who... Wait a minute, is he on your team too?
Yeah.
Okay. But still, question for you. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Yes.
Huh. That is a hard question to answer.
Have you seen the sandwich morality chain via like the D&D stuff or like chaotic neutral or whatever for the sandwiches?
Yeah.
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 According to that, it is.
It is because you put it in bread. You could put it in a sandwich bread.
And
Cool.
very good. I'm going to take a question here, although it seems like, oh, of course our chat questions are kind of like meme questions, but I'm going to take a question here from the chat, which is kind of half meme-ish, and I'm going to make it more like a viable question. But I was asked by Valkymer, who on your team is the loudest screamer? So I'm going to make that even more like a very serious question and say, like, what are your comms like? Are you like a highly energetic team? Or are there like a lot of competing voices? Or is there a little bit more of a structure where, someone has a little bit more of like a final say?
Well, I would like to say I'm the boss and I make all the calls, but no, that doesn't happen. They all yell at me, and then we all blame Bones in the end.
That's good. I like that. Yeah, I've been on a few different teams where they had different things like just some obviously had more centralized, whereas just one person who kind of has the final say. Others that are a little bit more participatory, I guess we could say they are. So
I have a very special ceremony every beginning of every match. I like to try to die for some reason. I don't know.
Let's see if
Within
maybe
the first minute.
Let's see if maybe I can pull one more. Oh yeah, there's actually one more question in the chat. And then I will just throw the floor to you for any final shout-outs before we wrap this up. It's going to come from Valkymer again, and it's going to be, what do you think is the best type of breakfast muffin?
The best type of breakfast muffin. I would have to say it's a blueberry muffin. It has to be freshly baked.
Of course. Freshly baked. Good choice. Good choice. I do like it. All right. With that, gonna just throw the floor to you for any final comments or shout outs before we wrap up the interview.
All right, I'd like to shout out Valcomer for helping me put this team together again. um, Thank you for casting. Thank you for my team being amazing and yell at me all day. And good job on the other team. They did a pretty good job. I enjoyed the playing against them.
All right. Very good. A nice set of good, wholesome shout-outs. I like the Valcomer shout-out in particular. I kind of like his little mini community, and he's done kind of a lot of leadership. He's had just a pretty good leadership role, setting up, helping facilitate teams forming, doing all those scrim nights, free agent nights, things like that, too. So I like that one, especially myself. With that, good luck to you in the rest of the season, and have a good night.
All right. Thank you. You have a great night yourself.
Thank you. You too.